So we are now back in La Rioja. I did say as we were just finishing off the previous one, I forgot to give you wine pairing for the white Rioja. So for the white Rioja, because it was so oaked, try fish with a creamy or buttery sauce, some cheeses, maybe asparagus, which is quite difficult to pair with wine, something like that. So that's something I forgot from the last one. So moving on, we are back in Rioja with the red now as well. We already talked about the history of Rioja, so I won't cover that again, but I'm going to talk a little bit more about geography. So, this is La Rioja. I showed you where it was on the map before. It really is an absolutely perfect place for making wine. You have the Ebro River, which runs all the way through the middle of it. You have the mountains at the north, which protect from the Atlantic. You have the mountains to the south, which protects the area from the extreme heat from the Meseta and from central Spain. You also get a really powerful wind that blows straight up the valley, which goes up to 60 miles per hour, and that's really great for the grapes because it keeps the humidity off, it reduces disease pressure. So overall, it's almost like this area is designed for growing grapes. And you have three distinct areas here as well. You can see the three colours on the map. There are other colours, other maps around the room if you want to get a closer look. We can pass this around in a moment. But you have the yellow area, which is Rioja Alavesa. That's the part of the Rioja region that's actually in the Basque Country. And that has a little bit of maritime influence, very high elevation. The soil is calcareous clay mostly. That's the smallest area, but an area for really good quality. Then you have the Rioja Alta, which is this pink area. That means the high Rioja. Again, high elevations, again a bit of maritime influence. Different soils though, much more diverse, but more ferrous clay. And then you have this area, which is Rioja Oriental, or the eastern Rioja. Used to be Rioja Baja, but the winemakers decided they didn't want to be low Rioja, so they're now eastern Rioja. And that has a bit of Mediterranean influence, lower elevations, more alluvial soil. So within this region that is perfectly designed for wine, you also have a lot of different areas with different soil types, different climatic influences. So you can get a lot of interesting and different variations in the wine that's produced here. People think, quite rightly, of Rioja as an area for Tempranillo. We already saw wonderful Vieira from the area. And it is an area for Tempranillo. Tempranillo is 75% of what's grown here, but 75% is not everything. So we also get, we talked about the whites, but in reds, Garnacha Tinta, Masuelo, Graciano, and usually those are blended into Tempranillo to give a bit more complexity, to boost the alcohol levels. Tempranillo can be low alcohol, particularly at altitude. And particularly, I mean, this area, the yellow and the pink, Alavesa and Alta, is mostly Tempranillo, but actually in the purple area, you get more Garnacha grown here than you do Tempranillo. And so that is a perfect segue into our next wine. This wine is actually our Garnacha. It's the Lopez de Haro Garnacha from 2021. And it's 100% Garnacha, which is unusual for Rioja. But what I wanted to do is, we're going through the different grape varieties, is to give you an example which shows what this grape variety is like. You may remember from the white Bodega Clásica, the exhibition White Rioja, Lopez de Haro is one of their labels, so it's the same winemaker as the white wine. And so this is unusual for Rioja, but typical for Garnacha, and give it a try. I think what you really get from this, you get the red fruit. So unlike the Mencia, you really do see red fruit here. The sort of strawberry character, it's very easy drinking. It's also quite ripe. You can tell that the grapes were really ripe. So I wouldn't describe it as jammy, which you can for some wines, but it definitely has the sense that it was grown in a warm place and that it really ripened properly. A little bit of herbal note. And you notice it's lower acidity, but also that you get a bit of the warmth from the alcohol, and that's very typical of Garnacha also. So for pairings for this, there's some charcuterie at the back, it's probably going to go well with that. Maybe a barbecue also, something like a nice summer afternoon, kind of a red wine. So I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you.